Prospect, though.
Huh, wonderful prospect. You have to love where everything is trending. Lucky Lefty Nation. What's up, LL Nation? We spin it different each and every day. You know how we do it. That dude right there, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire, and overtime Malik. I am Shaun Davis at SD2 Mics as always. We're brought to you and featuring Anora Whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, make sure that you drink responsibly. So yesterday, we really talked about the weekend and how it turned out and the legacy and the tradition and everything that went on. Today, we want to dig a little bit deeper into what the outcome of this spring really was and what Marcus Freeman had to say about it, because I think it's very important to hear what the head coach had to say. One of the things that stood out to me is I watched two things. Later on in the show, I'm going to apologize to Tyler Buckner, because I watched the replay of the Notre Dame Virginia Tech game. I was a little bit too critical of Tyler Buckner, just a little bit. Like, he deserved criticism in that game, but there are some things that I saw that I want you to hear playing that position, having played that position, that I think bodes very well for him being a first-time starter. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But what I want to first bring up is that we had an opportunity to sit with Brady Quinn, and he talked about fun, Friends of the University of Notre Dame, 501c3 that he has established that connects Notre Dame players with charities and other 501c3s to work with. And of course, it's an NIL opportunity for those players as well. So it's basically bringing together the purpose and what Notre Dame is all about as a university and matching it with the NIL space. And one of the things he talked about was fund and the NIL space when he sat down with us for a little bit last week.
Right. No, I think it definitely it does work hand in hand. I mean, the tough thing about the NIL space is, the best way to describe where it's at right now nationally is like trying to build a plane while flying it, if that makes any sense. So it's like ever evolving and changing. And so the tough thing for Notre Dame and other universities that kind of fall under the state laws that where there's either no guidance, you can't have any association with it. We work completely independent of the university.
So that's him describing how difficult it is to create in that space, being independent of the university. I don't know if you saw this news this weekend, bro, but the state of Mississippi passed legislation allowing the schools in the state of Mississippi to be a part of setting up NIL for their players. It's the first state to do this. And I'm looking for the rest of the states in the South to follow suit to try and give those universities an advantage in the NIL space that exists today.
That's pretty crazy. I think it's finally some backing to this whole NIL thing that gives it the official credit is probably needed in such a non-regulated piece of the part of the game now. So it does make it sweeter for the players, and sports in general are starting to turn more player friendly, which is beneficial to the players. And I think it's starting to equal the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, and he talked about that, and I think the challenge for Notre Dame players and alums is the fact that they have to work independent of the university, but at the same time, and whatever they want to do, you want to keep the spirit of the university in the NIL space to be a true representative of Notre Dame in that space, even though you're connecting to the players. And he talked about that as well, trying to find the fit in the NIL space while building fun.
And so, fortunately for me, I had a foundation. I've now had an existence for about 12 years called the Third and Goal Foundation. I had a good team out around me of advisors who I had leaned on through investments and through other things that I've been interested in outside of the game. So, for me, it was a little bit different. But I do feel like for a lot of athletes, this is a community. It's a group of supporters, people who are trying to guide these, student athletes to understanding and even just the agreement that they're agreeing to. One of the biggest things is when, a student athlete goes through the process of applying, they go through an interview process. We really try to find out what they're passionate about. And we really make sure when they sign the contract or agreement that they're fully aware of what the commitment is. The language is explained within it, and they understand what they're being asked or required to do, no different than they will be in the future. So as much as this is all about NIL and helping student athletes champion a charity of their choice that they're excited about, there's also an educational component of going through it like you're going to have to do once you graduate and move on from Notre Dame, where there isn't that bubble that you live in, right? And all those different resources you can always utilize.
Yo, I thought that was one of the best questions that you asked him. How did everything post-career start to happen for him? And was he set up to live his life post-football because of the connections at Notre Dame and because of his education in Notre Dame? And he talked about already having a foundation and already having a team around him that had given him good advice and set him up, because he was always thinking about that even when he was playing. I think he said his last stop was with the Chiefs or the Browns.
I think it was with, because he said it was teams at Oakland or the Jets or something like that.
Yeah, it was one of those teams. But, this also gives them an opportunity while they're in school to kind of experience what it's going to be like on the back end of their career.
Yeah, I do think it's important to have a strong focus on that. I think a lot of it too, because with this NIL stuff, these opportunities are going to open up interest of guys to do things outside of just playing sports because of the relationships with these businesses. So to use that and even learn how to work a 501c and some nonprofit foundation, and noticing how the service impacts the individual and the money that comes behind it. I think it incorporates a lot of what happens with professional athletes.
Yeah.
And giving back, you see it with some of the biggest in JJ Watts and other people in the league. But I think it's important too that this type of service is what makes sports great, because it ties the humanity side to these athletes who we all think are picture perfect. And it does give us the benefit of the doubt that we can work hard just like everybody else.
I don't know about you, but I worked very hard not to be a fanboy in life. And I don't know how the rest of LL Nation feels about it. It's like, you have people that you grow up idolizing, whether they be in music, film, sports. And at some point, I always said to myself, if I happen to cross paths with certain individuals, I'm going to make sure that I control myself and act accordingly. And you talked about that when you just said that, like the human side or the humanism of athletes is probably the dopest thing about them, because your athletic ability is almost like a superpower. And what makes you dope, I don't know about you, but I thought Clark Kent was dope as hell, though. Like Superman, yeah. But I thought Clark Kent with the glasses, the hair, the little bang, I thought Clark Kent was smooth.
Yeah, Clark Kent had his persona, but he didn't have any personality really. It was just a dude going to work every day.
Yeah. But the power was being able to operate as Clark Kent. So Clark Kent was a good enough cover of Superman. Like that's dope, dude. Like for you to play that role that good, to be able to cover that alter ego. And I think for most of you guys, your athletic ability is the alter ego. And when people can really see the human side of you, and that can become the bigger cover of what you do on the field, in my opinion, that's an amazing thing. That's an absolute amazing thing. And I don't know if a lot of athletes really want to allow people to be able to see that side, because they would rather be very much private off the field and not give as much access.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's the everyday struggle of trying to connect the fans to the players on a personal level, even though it may be uncomfortable for some players. But I do think that relationship can be healthy, because then you got to talk about the downside of the relationship. We got all these fans talking crazy. So I do think it's important that nurturing that by seeing them do the charity work, seeing them being able to interact with the fans on healthy levels. I think it is important just to bring a better environment for both sides. I think it's tough because sports is so competitive, but it's just like anything in the industry of entertainment or sports. It's hard to separate the person from the what they do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Lucky Lefty podcast. Once again, we're talking about Brady Quinn, the NIL space, and also there are other NIL opportunities coming via organizations being set up by former Notre Dame players that were actually in South Bend, and just seeing, different pictures that are starting to come out. What did you feel when you ran down? Because you hadn't run down the ramp to the stadium in a long time.
Yeah, I almost needed directions because everything looked brand new the way they keep evolving.
Yeah,
the stadium, but got a chance to get into the upper levels. Uh, and saw how great they were able to just build a facility attached to the stadium when that was never there. So that was really cool. And then just being able to run out there on the field again, it was just pretty fun to see everything, how it's developed, and the guys that are coming after us, how excited they are just being there and soaking it all in. So seeing our old teammates and the younger guys that are in the league and then the older guys that have been there, it just made it like a strengthening of a brotherhood, because everybody was there for a common goal, and that was to enjoy themselves. Usually we were there putting on pads or going to class. So this was on better footing.
And with that, Marcus Freeman was mic'd up during the game. And that's like a minute and a half I want to play from the broadcast of Marcus Freeman. And I thought it was like one of the funniest moments, because it goes from, them asking, he was talking to the guys that were calling the game. And our guy, Ryan Harris, former Notre Dame offensive lineman, was doing the color commentary.
Yeah.
And he was asked, like, what do you like so far? And I think this was around like the end of the second quarter. Like, what do you like so far? And then what I really want you to pay attention to is what he says towards the end. And I'm like, yo, I love it, because it's like really setting the tone for what Notre Dame football is going to be all about. This is Marcus Freeman during the blue and gold game.
I like that defense seems to be, capitalizing when they're in bad situations. I don't like that we're turning the ball over. So we got to take care of the ball, and I think we're running the ball pretty well on offense, but we've been in the red zone a couple of times, and we got 3 points out of it. So we have to take advantage of these opportunities and stop turning the ball over.
And this is the first time now, Coach, you've only talked defense, but you got to see the bigger picture. How have you learned to assess what's best for the team when you got to evaluate offense and defense?
Well, it's complementary football, and it's being able to sit in with the offense, sit in with the defense, and be able to understand the decisions that we're making and why we're calling certain things, and why defensively we're making different calls. But it's still complementary football. If you don't have complementary football, there's no chance to have success.
What I love is in the decision-making, Maris Leofold makes an interception, does a little hip shimmy, but you went over and talked to him. What was that conversation?
It was act like you've done this before, and don't cost this team 15 yards, because the ref came up to me and says that, hey, I might have called a 15-yard penalty there. That's what they got to understand. You got to expect to make big plays like that. When you don't expect to make plays like that, you act like you've never done it. And that's what I just told him. Like, you can't cost this team 15 yards. I don't care about the interception. You cannot cost this team. Nobody's worth 15 yards from a selfish penalty. So that's just what I told him. Well, maybe in a little bit of a different tone, but
that for me was like the greatest thing out of that entire conversation. Hey, look, that's cool. Great play. Saw that celebration. All right, cool. But at some point, as we evolve and we get to the next level, that's going to be the norm.
Yeah.
Like, that's the expectation. Like, expect to make plays like that. Like, we're not going to be doing a bunch of jumping around. Like, oh, this is what we do. This is Notre Dame football.
Yeah, I mean, as I've gotten older, I've seen sports for more, it's just some entertainment value that's expected. It'd be nice to see a little something. I think obviously the ref mentioning it is definitely not helpful to the cause, but if he didn't mention it, I'm sure Marcus Freeman wouldn't have had a problem with it, just due to the fact that all that plays in the factor of giving your own team an edge. And a play like Maris made, I mean, hey, that's a great play. I'm excited for him. So, I think that ever since Kyle Hamilton took his helmet off, I don't think you can ever go back.
The Kyle Hamilton, it's so funny because when he did it, I don't think anybody in the fan base, well, I would say the vast majority of fans didn't have a problem with him taking his helmet off. Like, most of us were probably there like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. You're Kyle freaking Hamilton. That's right.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, I get it. The whole act like you've been there, but listen, Steph shooting threes and acts like he hasn't been there. So he's the greatest shooter of all time, and he still acts like it's his first time.
Yeah, but Steph can't pick up a technical foul for a shimmy, bro.
He's picked up technical fouls for throwing a mouthpiece.
I mean, throwing a mouthpiece. Come on. I'm talking about when he hits a three and throws a shimmy in celebration. They're not about to give you, a penalty. I mean, a technical for that.
Man, you got to put butts in seats, man.
And football is subjective. You can get that jerk referee or that jerk umpire that just, that's excessive.
I mean, but what's turnover chains and all that stuff? Like, I feel like you can't.
But all of that stuff, that's on the sideline, off the field. I don't think he has a problem with like turnover chains. He's saying you get the interception and you stand up after you get tackled and do a little shimmy and all that. You leave yourself subjective. You look at you like, yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see some of that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I like the NFL too much.
Oh man, that's a good question. Like, what is like too much? Because like, I feel like when your boy 21 gets his first college interception, like he might put on a show.
Yeah, do a little, it make it memorable, man.
I was watching Jackson State spring game, and Travis Hunter was putting on a show both ways, and literally did the Dion into the end zone. You know what I mean? So, and it was entertaining.
And it's NIL going crazy. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, what's it where y'all want to get this NIL money? Do something.
Yeah.
Shake something.
Now, if you're doing it for the purpose of just celebrating with your team, I'm all for it. But if you're trying to get attention for the specific purpose in a game of NIL, instead of just letting your game speak for yourself.
No,
bro. That's why I have to push back a little bit.
Look, the ship has sailed. Like Nick Saban said, when the NIL drop, it's time to start getting right. How is Mission Barbecue going to sponsor me if I don't go in there and do a little hot sauce dance or something?
Well, they already sponsored the offensive lineman, so
okay, but that's they got a unique quality. They travel in packs, they eat the same food together, But for little old Deion Cosley, let me get a first down and
right. Right.
I gotta build a little, ain't nobody paying attention, little Deion.
Right.
So, come on, man.
I just think we don't want anybody running down the tunnel, turning around, pulling out 6-shooters like the Canes back in the day. Like there is a line that you don't want to cross. You can entertain, but there's a line that you don't want to cross. Like the funniest thing is when Lamar Thomas caught a 50-yard pass, didn't score a touchdown, and ran into the end zone and took his helmet off from the 30-yard line. Like, man, what are you doing? You didn't score. Like that right there, that's overboard. You know what I mean?
See,
Like,
I'm saying, if I'm Kyron, I would have been doing all type of flips and dances and shimmies because you the star. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying because I know Dion's gonna play, but Salerno, I don't want to see the dancing and the shimmies.
Yeah, I want my teams to talk trash.
Like,
I'm all for that. I'm all for it.
I'm an old school fan. I want them to talk great.
I definitely want my team to talk trash. I definitely want my team to have some swag. No doubt
what
about
all
that.
The best teams do.
No doubt about that. So I agree with you from that standpoint. I'm all about talking trash. But
we had a really strict look. Think about this. We had a team that went undefeated and had none of that swag, and they damn near aren't even the top teams that you would say are the most talented.
Yeah. I'll give you a better example. You know who are like two of the smoothest trash talkers in the NBA? Ant-Man and Ja Morant. Like they talk trash.
Ant-Man.
Dude, Ant-Man talks trash the entire game, but he's just real quiet with it. Like watch him. He walks by Ja and he'll say something, but Ja is saying something back to him under his breath, and you might not really notice it. Just go watch like the last minute last night, right? They walk on the court after the timeout, and Ant-Man walks up to Ja like, yeah, I got you. And Ja's like, okay. And Ja ends up scoring the bucket. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's like that competitive, like you want
That's what you watch sports for.
That's why you watch sports. Exactly. That's why you watch the game, and that's what makes it fun. He said something when he came out of the timeout. They were getting ready to run the play. Ja was sticking him, and he told Ja something. He probably told him, "Don't let me get open."
Yeah.
And he got open and hit the three.
And hit it.
He hit it, and it's like you have to love that. I'm all for that. I'm all for that, bro. I love that. So if that's what Maris, Jordan, Brandon Joseph, the rest of the defense, if that's what they're going to be bringing, heck, that's what they've been bringing all spring, honestly, in practice. So I'm all for it. I do. Who was the last person that would probably do something? This is funny. The person that I would love to see show some enthusiasm is Braden Lindsey. Like, dude, catch a touchdown, show me something. Show me something. Trash talk, something.
Somebody got to be the leader in that room, in my opinion. Somebody got to go in there and do something. You know what I mean?
Because, that wide receiver room to me is real mild.
It's just, it's like you went to Popeyes, you didn't get the spicy, you got the mild. That's our receiver.
Hold on. You don't have to always get the spicy at Popeyes, dude.
What?
No. You see, because the spicy, I don't even get the spicy. Let me explain.
What do you go to Popeyes for? The rice and beans?
Let me explain why I don't get the spicy at Popeyes unless I'm in New Orleans.
Why is there an explanation for this?
No, because it is an explanation. I went to New Orleans and I got the spicy, and I realized that the spicy in Chicago was on some bull. And every time I eat spicy in Chicago, I feel disrespected because I feel like you're giving me fake spicy. So I just get regular until I go to New Orleans. But when I get to New Orleans and I get that original New Orleans spicy from like the original Popeyes that opened up when the joints first popped off, I'm telling you, if you ever go to New Orleans, get the spicy down there, you're going to text me like, fam, it hits totally different.
Man, I don't know.
Totally different.
I don't know. I hear you. I hear you.
And you know what, man? I think the best thing in there is the biscuits anyway.
When they're hot.
Oh, absolutely. All biscuits when they're hot are better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the best
You prefer
best place to
Popeyes over
go.
Kentucky Fried, KFC,
And
biscuits?
KFC I grew up with, but Popeyes is an adult decision that mature people decide.
Mm. Mm.
But man, saying mild at Popeyes is it's like asking for a burger at Pizza Hut, man. What are you doing?
Or man, my cousin, true story, came in from Memphis. We went to Hooters. This dude ordered crab legs at Hooters. Stomach was messed up for 2 days, fam. I told him.
Why would you do that?
I told him. I said, dude, why are you trusting crab legs from Hooters? Why? Like, who does that? And now you've missed a day and a half of your visit to the Shy on the toilet and laying in the bed because you just couldn't get 12 wings and call it a day.
You want to be difficult.
You know what I mean? And then you want to order a glass of wine. Like, dude, get 12 wings and a soda and call it a day. You up in here trying to be bougie. Lucky Lefty podcast. Everybody agrees, man. Oh, Popeye's hands down. Thank you, Anthony Solomon, for tapping in. All right. Oh, Luke Kirkwood said, I've never been to a really good Popeyes.
Oh man,
He said he only likes the fries at Popeyes. Lilo, Gus's fried chicken. I don't do that hot Nashville hot chicken, bro. I don't do that.
No.
I don't rock with it. I don't rock with it. And I tried it when I was in Nashville, and it still was like, it's okay.
It's just okay.
Now, I've never had the Popeyes chicken sandwich, bro.
It was good when it first hit the commercials. After that, I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like the chicken dropped in the grease first.
Yeah.
It's better than the chicken dropped in the grease last.
Gotcha.
So if you got the first drop of the sandwiches, like I did, I only got one, and it was different than all the other ones after. So
said churches used to go. Churches put steroid. Them steroid wings they got at churches, boy. Browns back in the day. Now that was I used to eat Browns because my grandfather always bought it. And when you go to your grandparents' house, you eat whatever they have. So, but then, oh my Lord, once I was able to get around myself, Harold's was all I needed.
Yeah.
Harold's was all I needed, brother. Everything got thrown to the wayside. Everything.
Put to the side.
I put away childish things, bro.
That's serious.
When I come to LA, my daughter actually told me about a dope Korean barbecue spot that she thinks I would
called Jin.
That might be it. And she's like, Daddy, I think you would love it. And I was like, yo, next week I'm going to try it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to try it. Okay. So basically, you're telling me that Gus Fried Chicken is based out of Memphis. I'm supposed to be in Memphis to enjoy Memphis in May in a couple of weeks. I'll definitely look them up, Lilo. I'll definitely look them up. Lucky Lefty podcast. Bojangles. I haven't heard that name in a long time, Andre. It's been a while. And Tinder, what do you say, Tinder? Why does Lucky Lefty cost more than Coney? I'm lost. I have no clue what you're talking about. Anthony Solomon said he loves Bojangles chicken strips. Yes, we're once again the number one class over Texas Tech.
That's right.
Texas Tech has no chance of being
Texas Tech has no chance in the long run because who wants to go there for real?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Wait till you see the next blend of it, though. Dude, talk about it. Like you were in town. What's next for Anora Whiskey?
Anora Whiskey, we're hitting distributors in California and in Florida. And once we get this purchase order finished, we're looking to hit the market and being in all stores. And we're looking to do more events. So we got some stuff planned out in a jet hangar. We got some stuff planned out in Notre Dame for the season. So stay tuned. We'll have giveaways and discounts. It's going up. Anora Whiskey to want to join right here.
No doubt, man. AnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey. It's smooth. That's all I can say.
That's right. That's right.
It's smooth. I tell you this. So I went out with my wife. You know, my birthday was Saturday. Sunday was the anniversary. Bro, I have to ask, and I didn't ask. We do every anniversary when we go out, we do a toast. Because neither one of us, drink that much. So we usually drink together when we go out. We do a toast. All right. So this year we did the toast, and her go-to is Moscow Mule. That's her go-to.
That's a good
That's
go-to.
her go-to. That's her go-to, right? And my go-to is usually a mojito, right?
Oh, you trying to get spicy, huh?
No, that's my drink. Like that's my drink. That's my go-to. And for some reason, I said, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. And I ordered a whiskey sour with top shelf whiskey. Right? And it was all whiskey, no sour. Like,
oh, you drinking? You just taking
yo,
a drink.
It was like I took a sip and I'm like, yo,
it was sour, all right.
No sour in this piece.
It was
like,
no sour, but it was sour.
None.
It was a sour face.
And so I just kept sipping because I'm like, maybe, you know how you like take the first sip and like, maybe I need to stir it up a little more with
I gotta mix this thing up a little bit.
Right. And I'm like, nah, bro, that stir wasn't doing nothing. Like it was just a strong drink. And it was a bigger glass too. So I'm like, so I get halfway through it and I'm like, yo, I don't know what he put in this. Like, cause I haven't had a whiskey sour, honestly, maybe since like my late 20s.
Oh man.
When I was like outside on a consistent basis. That's when I would like it was either whiskey sour, amaretto sour, Long Island iced tea.
So you must have been having fun then.
You talking about when I was outside?
When you took this drink.
Dude, I just knew this drink is extra strong, and I have to sip on this. I can't just drink this like I would normally drink something. Not that I was gonna be like done or wasted, but I just knew I could feel like, okay, this gonna have me. It's gonna have me a little light year. It's gonna have me a little buzz. You know what I mean?
Now, did you feel like that with the Anora?
No. And that was when we were in South Bend, that was my second time drinking Anora. And you remember, I had 2 glasses of it in LA.
Straight, no ice, nothing. And it
nothing.
was
and I was good. I was good. So, man, Matt 2011 GT, we appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you,
Shaun,
Matt.
we watched the Tate interview, and I would say it hit different this time. At the time, we felt confident that he was coming to ND. Those assumed blinders certainly kept the facts from coming through. You were not duped.
He wasn't lying.
Yo,
unless he was lying.
Like I said, we gave you the content, and there were certain things that both of us were like, cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's your answer. That's cap. And then there were other things. It's like, okay. And like we said, the conversation we had afterwards, with us having access to that, like we're able not to overreact to things we see, especially, on social media. So, and what we hear from other people.
Yeah.
So
If you don't got his number, we're not listening to you.
Yo, you know, Rob, a lot of my friends have been ordering this drink, man. The best drink is an old fashioned, like Don Draper always had the TV show Mad Men. All my boys, we went out over the Christmas holiday, bro. Literally, all of them got an old fashioned. All of them got an old fashioned, and I'm like, I've never had one. Don't know what it tastes like.
Don't know what it. So what would you get when they get that?
What did I get?
What would you get when they get that?
I got a mojito. I don't know what's in an old fashioned, but I got a mojito. That's my go-to. Like,
Okay.
Mojito. Let me tell you about the first mojito I had. Do you remember there used to be a spot called Bed in New York and Miami? Back in the early 2000s. For those of you that don't know, there was a spot called Bed in Miami and New York. And it was a restaurant bar. And instead of like couches and chairs, you literally reserve beds. Oh, the concept was dope. Like you sitting there with your date on a bed.
On the bed in the
drinking all night.
Bar.
It was super sexy. Super sexy.
A bed on the. So what do you wear there then?
I mean, you dress up like you normally would, but just the vibe.
You on the bed though, so you lay down.
That's the point. You can lay down, or you can sit there and just converse and share. You know, a lot of people will just sit up in the bed with their legs going the long way. They had a freak
spot, Shaun.
You had to look. No. This was an actual club, dude. Nothing crazy ever happened. This was like a very well respected concept when it first hit in New York and Miami. Okay. And it was dope. And I'll never forget, we went there and we went in the restaurant, because in the restaurant, they have like a regular bar where you can stand at the bar, sit at the bar. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but if you were going to sit, there weren't like tables, because they did like desserts, appetizers, and you could eat the appetizers, sitting on the bed. They would come and serve you. So they had a Concord grape mojito. Fam.
That's like the black man's delight right there. The Concord. You didn't just say grape.
Imagine
Concord.
Imagine the 25-cent vest grape sodas we used to get back in the day at the corner store, and just add a little alcohol to it. Fam. It's because it's nothing better than having a grape soda back in the day.
Nothing better. Nothing colder. Better. Nothing sweeter.
Dude, I saw that Concord grape next to that mojito, and I was like, I'll try this. And I was hooked on mojitos from that point forward.
Oh my goodness.
That was it. It was, man, I'm going to try and find a picture for you, dude. It was, man, because I don't think it exists anymore in New York. Or Miami, because those were the two spots.
And that's the last time you've had that drink.
No. That was the first time I had it. Okay, I'm about to bring up some pictures, bro.
Okay, so here we go.
I'm about to bring up some pictures.
Let's see what you're cooking with these pictures, man.
This is from 2009. I see we got another super chat. I'm telling you, dude, this bad fella this from 2009.
2009.
From the Eater article. As you can see right there, bro. You had a little sitting area in the back.
Oh, that's smooth.
Smooth. I'm trying to tell you it was smooth. The concept was crazy.
Now, why can't they have that now?
I don't know. They discontinued them. I don't know how long they lasted. But like I said, the first time they hit were in New York and Miami in like early 2000. And this is from 2009. So it was shortly after that they kind of faded away. I'm telling you, the concept was amazing, fam. It was amazing.
Did you eat there too?
Yeah, I had some appetizers, dude. They had like these strawberry shortcake cookies.
Oh, you remember down to the T.
Yeah, they were amazing, fam.
Wow.
Like I said, that was the first time I had a mojito. It was a Concord grape mojito. And then everywhere I went, no one had the Concord grape joint. So I started telling them to put pineapple juice in it.
Got it.
Like put a little pineapple juice in it for
it. It wasn't the same, though.
No. But the pineapple juice is a fair trade-off. It's a fair trade-off. Matt, thank you for another super chat. Malik, I just want to say how much we in Irish Nation appreciate your true ND heart, especially how the Sandusky slide BK treated you.
I appreciate you, Matt.
We appreciate you. Another super chat, Anthony Simon. I echo what Matt said, Malik.
Appreciate you, Anthony, man. That's real.
Okay, so Spark5219 said the old fashioned is the same as a Manhattan without the beer muff.
See, drink knowledge goes deep, man. You get us talking about mixing and everything.
Yeah.
Old fashioned is hard to beat, though.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Will, I'm sorry. I'll be praying for you, man. You see that, bro? You got to watch it, man.
You better hope it's COVID.
That's facts. That's fact. You better hope it's COVID, man. Dude. So Marcus Freeman, after the game, discussed the spring, what they learned, and what they're going to continue to learn from moving forward.
Well, there's a lot of different things that you have to do in the month of May, and how do you evaluate the spring from a big picture point of view? You know, the player's going to be gone, and you're also going to have to go on the road, and our coach is going to be recruiting. I'm going to have to do some things with, just Notre Dame, period, and I'll be busy. But we're going to look back and try to see how much we can learn from the spring, the teaching tapes, the evaluation, and what do we truly need to improve on as we head into June, right? When they come back, and we know Coach Bayless is going to have them in the best shape they can possibly be in, but what do we need to do in June, right? We have a little bit more time to be able to utilize football in June, and so how can we capitalize off that time that we can spend with them?
You know what's crazy? I saw Tyson Ford's mom on social media yesterday asking help from the Notre Dame fans on finding storage for his stuff. And it finally hit me like, yo, they're about to be done with school.
Yeah.
Like school's about to, like, end of spring practice, finals, school is over first week of May. Like, dang. Okay.
No, it's serious.
And I'm like, yo, I guess they have to move that stuff out of the dorm.
Yeah, it's interesting because everybody's from everywhere at Notre Dame.
Right.
So finding storage is definitely tough. There's many stories of guys that have their stuff on campus that they store at their friends' houses off campus, or a girl's house, or maybe a coach's house. But, that can become an adventure. And that's really a part about growing up that they don't talk about. Because, your mom's asking for you on Twitter. That's embarrassing. You kind of like a rite of passage to find somewhere to throw it for a couple months till you come back.
It just seemed like the situation caught them off guard. That's what it seemed like.
It catches you off guard because everything's so luxurious, and then they be like, all right, school's over this day, everything's cut off. And you be like, oh, I'm a regular dude in South Bend.
Right.
Like, get my stuff together.
Like,
everybody
like you said, Coach Freeman said they'll be back in June. So you go home.
They will be back. Yeah.
You go home for a month, pretty much, and you come back. So you need storage for a month.
You don't want to take everything with you. It's just a lot. You're moving different places.
Yeah. I'm shocked they don't have, because I know in LA, it's this place that deals specifically with the storage of the college students. Like, they come and move you out,
Don't speak too much. It might be a business I might have to throw over there in South Bend.
Go ahead.
Because it
But
might
it's a
not
dope
be.
business.
It's definitely not one over there now. So
It's a dope business because we've taken advantage of it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we've taken advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Because baby girl had an apartment, but she was changing apartments.
Yep.
In between freshman and sophomore year. So, while she came to the crib, and then
It's probably like a big only storage for USC stuff. Wow.
Great investment, like well worth it, because I don't want the headache.
No.
Like trying to piece all of that together and figure it out all the way here in Chicago, all the way out there. What's coming back? What's staying? All of that. Nah.
It was even tough like that when I was at Florida. I sent everything across the country.
Man, so wait a minute. I just thought you just had to move straight from South Bend
to Florida, and then
Gainesville.
from Florida to Arizona.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yo, that's crazy. Another super chat. We thank you guys so much. Hey, dog. Cheers, guys, from the Celestis celebrating our anniversary. Listen to you guys as we eat salmon and asparagus. You guys are great. Keep up the great work. Man, we appreciate it. That's a darn good meal, too. By the way, LL Nation, that turkey leg with the cabbage last night, fabulous. Shout out to my wife. She did a fabulous job.
She hooked it up.
Because usually she does it in a slow cooker.
Yeah.
She decided to do it in the oven, and it was a 3-hour process. It was a 3-hour process. Tender, seasoned very well. Yo, it was amazing. And the way she does her smothered cabbage, just incredible. Incredible.
So shout out to the wife, man. Hey, fellas, get you a wife out there.
Man, it's nothing, man.
The only one that can make it that good.
Nothing like it.
That's elite right there.
But I will admit it's not for everybody.
Oh.
It's not for everybody.
Why you say that?
You have to know who you are. You got to know who you are, man. If you can't deal with the commitment and the sacrifice, then, do you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But don't enjoy the good meals is what you're saying.
You can still have good meals.
Not like that.
If you're dating, you can definitely have good meals if you're just dating.
Not turkey wings like that.
I don't know. You might run across some that
That's how that was made with love, man.
Maybe not in LA, maybe not in the Midwest, but you got a good chance if you go down south of running into some that can prepare a pretty good meal.
I hear that.
Malik, that Insta vid you posted about the generational wealth was spot on.
Thanks.
No, he's been on some stuff. He had a tweet out this morning that was spot on too, talking about resurrection and life. I thought that was dope. Like it made me really think, like, yo, the life you give to your seed, that is the resurrection of you. Is what keeps you living.
Yeah.
Even when you're not here. So
not mummies.
Yeah. Facts.
We ain't popping up out the ground like zombies.
No, sir. No, and don't get me wrong. I want to be here for a long time. Don't get me wrong. Like I want to be here for a long time.
But you should want it to be through your kids, man.
Right. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Matt. Man, we appreciate you. So
you said what? I can't hold on.
What up? What
the
up?
Meal thing, though, that's important. You can't sleep on a good meal, man.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And let me keep it a buck with you. She didn't start out that way.
Oh, see?
No,
I told you.
No. She had the skills because mother-in-law is a great cook.
Okay.
Well, she had the skills, but she had not really developed them because she didn't do a lot.
Got it.
But once we had baby girl, she had to every day. Not because of me,
practice.
but because of baby girl, she had to make sure baby girl ate.
See, I would say that too.
Because when we were outside, we kicked it, bro. We were downtown like 3-4 times a week. Right. So there was really no need. Once baby girl came, there was a need, and that's when, like, you know, the execution of what was already in her started to come out.
Can you hop on that grill a little bit?
Oh, that's all I do. I bought a new smoker specifically for this summer. Because I fell in love with the smoker last summer over the grill.
Yeah, just the way you was getting that thing right.
So I was smoking my slabs last year and my brisket instead of doing the grill, and I kind of fell in love with it. I'll see if I go back to the grill this year, though.
Okay.
I might mix match.
Oh, so you can
And H said I need that smothered cabbage recipe. My brother.
See, I ain't never had it smothered though.
Yeah,
see, that's the difference.
Damn. Hey, yo. That Matt says smoker for the win. I'm telling you, that smoker it hits different. It hits different, man. So before we get out of here, let's get to one more thing we heard from Marcus Freeman. What's next? Like, what's next for you? Like, these guys don't come back until June. What are you and the coaching staff, what are you going to be focusing on?
Yeah, recruiting never stops. That's the first thing. Recruiting, right? Today's recruiting, tomorrow's recruiting. Every day we have to recruit, and every coach has to have that mindset. It's about we have to get the best players in the country that fit this place. And so that's an everyday responsibility, an everyday focus. In terms of how do I become a better coach, and I mean, there's many different ways to enhance what you do. You got to be able to talk to other people that are currently head coach or former head coaches, look at situational football, continue to look back at this spring and say, okay, what positions, what schematic areas do we need to improve at, and then try to address them, not wait to fall camp as much as what can we do in June, what can we do in July. You know, you got some coaches going away, but coaches that are here, we have to all maximize the opportunities that we have to be around our players.
That's what they're going to be doing. Recruiting.
I think the recruiting, man, you can never sleep.
Yeah.
That's just a obvious thing. I would like to hear him say he's going to take a little time off, just because I think, you know, hitting that schedule the way he's going to hit it with the type of expectations that the people are expecting, I think it's going to be heavy for him as a first-year guy. But as long as he's keeping the main thing and applying pressure like he's been doing in recruiting, I was there last time. I said, if you recruit too good, you don't really have to coach that much.
You know what? That's a fact. And if you still recruit and coach your butt off instead,
that's a bonus.
With that,
yeah,
that's a bonus, man.
Yeah, don't sleep on that. So
yeah. Matt says once you go smoker, you never go back. No, I haven't barbecued with. Yeah, I can't barbecue with gas, bro. I'm a charcoal dude. MWJR, damn G, no, I feel exposed. My patience ain't there. Oh, he said my patience ain't there no more for them charcoals. Putting the charcoal, getting the lighter fluid, lighting it.
Too much.
Yo, the funny thing is, when Malik and I first connected, I think like a couple of days after we connected, that cat Malik had just bought a grill, right? And he was putting it together. He had to put it together. And I remember calling back like, dude, you're not cooking yet? Like, what's up?
It had to have taken me a good 5 hours to put that thing together because there's so many different parts.
Small parts. And you get to a point where you're like, man, let me just get this bad fella to the point where it can stand on these legs.
Yeah, because it's the legs that's the problem.
Right.
And they be sliding in and out and yeah.
Oh, man. So, really today is about Marcus Freeman and what this staff was able to do with this team. This team got better.
Yes.
Over the spring. They got better. And we talked about the acronym for the spring being TTC. We've been saying that because it's been teaching, tempo, and competition. And out of that, you saw individual players get better. You saw the defense you saw on Saturday was not the defense that I saw.
Right.
When I saw the first practice that we were allowed to watch after the pro day. The offense was dominating at that point in time. Yes, Tyler Buckner did not play Saturday, but the defense you saw Saturday has come from the growth and the influence of Al Golden, the teaching of Al Golden, the teaching of Al Washington, and the rest of that coaching staff. The swag, the nastiness, and Marcus Freeman being comfortable enough as a head coach, first-time head coach, to not micromanage, take a step back, and just be the overseer, and watch over everything. I'm sure he gives input. I'm sure he allows them to know what he likes, what he might not like. But at the end of the day, it feels good knowing that you went through the spring and your team got better, significantly better.
Yeah, I think it got significantly better in the areas they really focused on in the offseason.
Yeah.
Which was the defense, the linebackers, the transfer portal. They got their offensive line back together with Harry Heastand. That's something to really hang your hat on and feel good about because you know that it's going to come in handy when it counts. And he also solidified actual coaches that's going to do the dirty work, go do recruiting, and really focus on making those guys better on the development level. So from an organizer and a structure for a head coach, you can give him an A. You can give him an A for what he's been able to do and maintain the heat and the energy behind what he's doing heading into the fall. I think he's taken a lot of the right steps, made the fans and the people paying the ticket very happy going forward. So now it's about executing, and that's a great place to stand on.
Yeah. And now, like he said, recruiting, watching film to prepare for when the guys return in June, junior days, the 10th through the 12th of June, and in the month of May. Look, the excitement everybody had recruiting-wise for the month of April, which was the expectation that we would start seeing some dominoes fall in the recruiting class of 2023. Now, that's coming in May. You have decisions come from Searville, Asher, Jaden Lamar, Jaden Greathouse, Rodney Gallagher. All of these guys have decisions coming in May, and you have to feel very comfortable where Notre Dame sits with all five of those guys. Will they get all five? If they do, man, you're talking about taking another fantastic step to hanging on to that number one overall class come December. That would be just a grand slam of a month in recruiting. And then you start going to June and July, where you expect guys like Charles Jagusa, and then you start getting into July with Christian Gray on his decision on July the 4th. And then you finish off the class with guys that want to wait until December and take official visits during the season.
Yeah, I mean, right now you set everything up to fall in place, and now you're just looking at the fruits of your labors. You got to maintain and retain the relationship, keeping up with those guys. But right now, I'm just excited to see where they move forward and how guys take from the spring and get a little bit better in the off season, but also take enough time off to hit that fall camp healthy, so that we can roll into Ohio State looking like the team we're supposed to be.
And you know what the crazy thing is? The grad transfer, Chris Smith, wasn't even there.
Wasn't even there.
Line. He
from
wasn't
Harvard,
even there.
Right? From Harvard.
Yeah. He's coming in June. He wasn't even there. And you talk about a sick kid, 6'2", 310, that can move. So that's just even more depth along that defensive line.
That's right.
But everything's looking up. Mike Nolan, we appreciate you, my dude. Thank you for the super chat. That's what's up. And to my guy, I see Irish One. Absolutely. I'm also with the smoker. I'm into the chips.
That's
the
right.
maple mesquite, the pecan, the apple, the alder, the cherry. Man, I'm loving all of those chips for the smoker. I'm gonna give my boy Malik into the smoker, bro. I'm gonna gift him a small smoker so he can try some things out.
It's attached to the grill, right? Yep.
No, it doesn't attach to the grill. It's separate.
I got the one that's attached to the grill.
You like the one that? Yeah, they have both. They have both. We're gonna get you right though, so you can try some small things out. Yeah,
like the sausages and the hot links.
Yeah, I throw my steaks in there.
Really?
As well, heck yeah.
You X-Man, man.
G_no said, man, you got to manage them coals, bro. No lighter fluid, match light every time. Get the ones that come that automatically light, the match light units.
Yeah, you be there all day.
So we talked about the improvement of the defense, the improvement of this team overall. A lot to be happy about. I thank LL Nation for giving me a distraction for an hour so I don't have to watch the burial of that team from Chicago up in Milwaukee tonight. I'm
what
sure
do they need to get over the hump? Because I thought DeRozan was the answer.
You know what's very interesting? I'm in the minority. Well, because he is not all NBA, he does not qualify for the Supermax. I'm talking about Zach LaVine. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if I would give Zach a long-term contract. He already had one ACL. His knee is giving him problems this year. His back is giving him problems this year. He missed games last year. He's just, he had a thumb issue earlier this season. It's like, I don't know if I want to invest all that money in him. And I know that's what you got back for letting Jimmy Butler go. So you kind of feel like you want to see how it plays out because you let go of someone like Jimmy Butler. But, I guess next year you have to see if everybody can come back healthy and see what you have. Like, because you say to yourself, the team will be better if Alonzo was healthy, and, they do have a first-round pick.
But y'all need an answer for Giannis, and y'all just unfortunately ran into him too early.
Bro, there is no answer for Giannis. Nobody in the league has an answer for Giannis. Nobody. Nobody. That's a wrap. Like, Giannis can win as many championships as he wants to. That's just my opinion.
This is without Middleton in the game.
Look, man. When you got Grayson Allen dropping you off in consecutive games, nothing else needs to be said, man.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Oh, man. Oh, J-Man, I feel sorry for you, my brother. I
had defense, though.
Say it again.
Like, Steve Nash is not a great coach. He thought he was going to be Steve Kerr and just inherit greatness. But, you got to go in there and really do some things now. Yeah. The Celtics strategy was nice.
Look, man, Boston played really nice D against KD. KD and Giannis. That's a totally different beast, bro. That's totally different beast. See, because KD might give you 5 rebounds, 6 rebounds. Giannis is going to be on the boards. Every game, all game long. And I hope you don't have Al Horford on him. I hope that's not your answer. I don't even think Williams is going to stop him.
No.
Somebody else, Bam Adebayo.
Because the way he be dunking through the lane is just like
because people think about Giannis 2 years ago. Giannis he's a different cat, man. Like
he's almost dunking without jumping. He's just running and throwing it in. Like it's stupid.
Yeah. It's really going to be about his supporting cast Because he's that dude in the NBA right now, in my opinion. He's just that dude, man. And I guess I know what that feels like, because I used to have Mike in my pocket as a fan.
Oh, okay.
You
So
know,
you
and
just
the rest
said
and
when
the
you
rest
got
of
the
the
deal, you
East,
just got to stand back.
yeah. So I understand. I'm on the other end of it now. But we'll see. Hopefully, next year the Bulls can be healthy and have a better showing. But to come from where they came from, which was embarrassment last year, to spending a lot of time as the number 1 seed in the East during the season before the injuries, and then being the 5th seed or the 6th seed, I rock with it. You know what time it is.
Petticoat, Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Yep, Petty Junction each and every day right here. And you know what we got to start the petty train with, right?
What?
Come on, man. You already know. You already know. Yeah, I can't. If there was one day I was gonna start the petty train off right, is this, and it doesn't get any pettier than this, bro.
Oh yeah.
Fans have gotten antsy.
Oh man. What a dog.
Takes a 3-2 lead in this opening round series. Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
Bro, I was watching it live and I just hollered. I was like, God. Yo, I don't know if that cat Malik Beasley is still messing with Larsa Pippen. I don't know who he's talking to, but I hope that was somebody at the crib to console him when he got back to the hotel room or got back on the plane.
I mean, it was so nasty because I thought he brought it too far back. I thought he was going to throw it at the rim.
No, man.
I said, oh, he lost control. And then it's like he had an extra time in the air to get it. That thing was crazy.
Oh, just, bro. And people kind of argued that it wasn't as good as Shaun Kemp's dunk over Alton Lister in the playoffs because Shaun Kemp cradled that bad fella.
Oh yeah, he did something stupid.
But when you see how far back he copped, he came from and jumped over the top.
And he couldn't even get the charge off because he was too high in the air.
He's too high.
You're like, oh, you watch out,
dude. Kemp was sick. You can remember, Mike Jordan on the baseline, faked out Oakley, went up over Patrick Ewing for the 3-point play. LeBron had a nasty dunk against the Pistons.
KG.
Yes. Oh, and the playoff joint he had in the Garden in Game 6.
Ooh.
He had a nasty dunk in the playoffs. Everybody says John Starks over the Bulls.
Yeah,
exactly. But
it wasn't no challenge.
That jaw dunk. I
mean, that was like picture perfect because the angle was so crazy.
Yes.
I wish that was
Absolutely.
for the game instead of the layup. He did that for the game. Ooh.
The layup was sweet too. Don't get it twisted.
But that was like, man, you copying Derrick Rose.
Oh, you
That's a
showing
Derrick Rose
you
layup.
showing you showing us love, huh?
That's a Derrick Rose layup.
You showing Chicago some love.
Derrick Rose made those layups famous.
We appreciate you, bro. as a guy from Ohio, we appreciate you. As a LeBron stan, we appreciate you being honest.
LeBron's in my blood, man.
No, dude, come on. You know you are like the biggest defender of that.
Defender
dude.
of what? The greatest?
Here we go. We knew you couldn't stop being disrespectful for long.
But that's the thing. Jordan can't. Is
Dude,
Jordan gonna be the leader?
Wait, Jordan wasn't even part of this conversation. What are you talking about?
I'm just throwing it out there. Who's gonna be the leading scorer of all time?
As always, man, we are brought to you by Anora Whiskey. AnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, make sure that you drink responsibly. This man loves going off on tangents, man.
I'm just saying, what is he gonna do when LeBron James is the number one scorer of all time and he's a passing first guy?
I don't know. I know what he's going to
pass
do.
First.
I know what he's going to do when somebody wins 6 straight championships when they play 6 full regular seasons, because it'll never be done again. I know that. He's the only player to win 6 straight championships in which he played 6 full consecutive seasons. Nobody's doing that again. Nobody.
LeBron James.
Nobody.
Why is it Michael Jordan?
When LeBron sets the record for points, there will be somebody that breaks that record.
When?
Somebody's going to break the record.
Years?
Because it doesn't matter. Nobody thought Kareem's record would be broken.
Tell me what's so special about Michael Jordan's accomplishments when championships clearly don't matter. Because Bill Russell got 11.
Malik, you're smarter than that.
Compared to LeBron now. We're talking about compared to LeBron.
You're smarter than that. And I'm not even going to. That's not even worth my time, bro. That's
now it's not worth
That's not even worth my time.
Chicago guys are not even worth.
That's not even worth my time. We can debate him and Kobe.
Who?
Thank you, Michael.
Jordan is a comparison with Kobe.
No, we can debate LeBron and Kobe.
No.
That's the next person he's trying to catch.
LeBron's the best, so that's saying that Kobe would be better than Jordan if you're comparing it to LeBron.
Yeah, you're welcome to have that perception. You're welcome. You're welcome to have that perception.
Don't hit me with that. I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, hey, I'm just saying. Dude, I'm open to everyone's opinion.
LeBron, is it an opinion that he's going to be the leading scorer of all time and he's a passing first guy?
He's a passing. When did you feel like he's been the leading scorer on every team? How do y'all get this pass first guy when he's been the leading scorer on every team? What are you talking about? Stop passing off that lie. That's a lie. You can't average 29 points and be a passing first dude. Man, stop.
Wait a minute.
Stop it, man. Stop it. That's a lie.
Average?
He was averaging almost 30 points, but he's a pass first guy. Man, stop. He led every team he was on in field goal attempts, but he's a pass first guy. Come on, stop it.
Listen.
Stop it, man.
Wait a second.
Stop it.
Wait a second.
You know who was pass first? Magic Johnson. Somebody that didn't lead his team in field goal attempts because that was Kareem and James Worthy. He was pass first.
Can I give you why?
Stop putting LeBron James in that pass first narrative because he's not.
Do you know why he's pass first? Can we address that? LeBron James is pass first because even with 29 points a game that he was averaging, there's no way in the world those points were enough to carry those sorry teams that Jordan never had to play on all the way to a championship 9 years in a row.
Do you realize that
That's
Michael Jordan played with Orlando Woolridge and Brad Sellers, dude?
Have you heard of Larry Hughes and Drew Gooden?
Hold on, dude. Larry Hughes is a G. Stop. We're not about
G, but not a basketball player.
He might not be Scottie Pippen, but we're not about to disrespect Larry Hughes like he was a
What about
scrub.
Sasha Pavlovich?
Sasha was definitely a scrub. But
Larry what about Boobie Miles?
Hold on. Stop. Now, wait. You're gonna have to go back because you're disrespecting Larry Hughes, dude. He was not a scrub. LeBron would tell you he's not a scrub.
What was Larry Hughes at that time then to them?
What you mean?
A non-factor.
Larry Hughes was cold at Golden State. No, he was cold in Philly. He was cold with the Wizards. Larry Hughes was a bear. Matter of fact, shout out to the guys, Q Richardson and D Miles. They just put out a fantastic interview with Larry Hughes last week. It's a really good interview. It really is. He has some really good stories in Cleveland. Nothing negative about Bron, just some really good stories.
I want to know how LeBron James, a man that's had all the pressure in the world. Nobody had expectations for Jordan.
You got something to say about Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, man? Because this rabbit hole, we're not going down this rabbit hole. I'm not going down this hole.
The rabbit hole is only knee high. It's not that deep.
I'm not going down this rabbit hole, bro. Everybody, you need to read the comments, man, because I'm not debating with you. LL Nation is debating with you.
The greatest passer of the basketball has the most points in NBA history. It's an enigma.
Dude, I would venture to say that Matthew Dellavedova was better than John Paxson. You could literally say that if you watched them play basketball. I watched Matthew Dellavedova give Steph Curry buckets for 2 games in the finals.
Everywhere that LeBron James goes.
John Paxson lost his starting job to BJ Armstrong.
LeBron James, everywhere he goes, he's giving you rings. Everywhere.
That's all I'm saying.
Cleveland,
Michael Jordan's first point guard was Sam Vincent, man.
Why did Michael Jordan win a ring with the Wizards like LeBron James won with the Lakers or the Heat?
Why didn't he win one with the Wizards? What are you talking about? He was the same age as LeBron James when he got sent home missing the playoffs. That's why.
LeBron won a ring a couple years ago.
At the same age, LeBron James missed the playoffs just like Michael Jordan. The same thing happened. I don't want to hear nothing else. You talk at the same age that Michael Jordan played with the Wizards. Wait a minute. Did Michael Jordan miss the playoffs with the Wizards? Did Michael Jordan miss the playoffs with the Wizards?
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. No. Don't say wait now. Did Michael Jordan miss the playoffs with the Wizards?
It doesn't matter. He didn't win it.
My point is at the same age, LeBron James missed the playoffs with Anthony Davis. That's all I'm saying.
LeBron James is still going to win a championship.
LL Nation, we appreciate you guys. we love you. We're here for you. We're only LL because of you. And the truth of the matter is that Steph Curry is going to end up with more championships than he's won at the end of the day. And that's really going to hurt. That's really going to hurt. That's really going to hurt his heart. So I'll just leave with that.
Oh, wow. Marsh King. It's all great.
Yeah, dude.
What do you say? I'm never missing the playoffs again.
Go watch, what do they call it? Lethal Weapon 3. That's what they call them tonight. Golden State's little squad with Jordan Poole, Clay, and Steph. Go watch them. And LeBron is going to wish, because you know LeBron wants to get rid of AD. I understand. I would want to get rid of him too.
LeBron James told you in his tweet, I'm never missing the playoffs again. So that tells you he's going to win another championship, which puts him at GOAT level.
Whoa.
And you know what? For his next stunt, he might even do it in Atlanta.
Malik, stop glossing over the point. Stop glossing. The fact is, he missed the playoffs. Doesn't matter. The great LeBron James missed the playoffs as a Los Angeles Laker. He missed the playoffs, man. That's it. It's all good. It's all good. We'll talk to the people tomorrow, man. We'll talk to the people tomorrow. We'll talk to the people tomorrow, man. Everybody gonna enjoy the NBA playoffs. as we tell you always, spin it different. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man, because Malik wants to continue this conversation, but I'm not going down that rabbit hole tonight, man. I'm about to go put on my black and white, and read the obituary for the 2021-22 Chicago Bulls, and and enjoy myself.